Hello to Besties! I'm Shaidel!
And I'm Marian.
And welcome to Studiositas On Air Pagtukib Season! A special season where we uncover thesis journeys across the various borders of the College of Communication.
It's about the impact that communication research makes,
And we're here to discover how. This program is brought to you by the Studiositas Honor Society, an academic organization in the College of Communication.
You can catch us on West TV Channel 28 via Cable Star and on our official Facebook page and YouTube channel, Websus Justice Honor Society.
So, may nadumduman ka man last time, Mar, sa aton nga first episode.
Of course, ang aton nga pilot
Yes,
episode.
very, very special because of our guest, which is
Dr. Sheila May Quero.
yes, dito na to na-learn kung ano gid man bala ang heart sang research. Kung ano gid man bala ang iyang purpose and ang impact nga ginahatag niya sa aton, not just academically but in the real world setting.
Yes, kasi syempre gin-introduce niya sa aton ang definition sang research and nag-debunk siya sa mga notion no about research kaga sa kadamuon sang takeaways ang isagid sa nagpabilin sa akon ang hambal nga hindi gali intimidating ang research.
Correct. It's not just about the requirements and grades. And for this episode, we go beyond into the heart of those who live the change they speak of. Ang ilang experiences maging testaments to the power of voices that choose to build and ignite transformation where it's needed the most.
And we discovered how research goes beyond requirements and grades. It's a process kung sa diin mayara ginabutang naton nga curiosity, inquiry, kag of course impact. Beyond data and methods lies purpose. And here, we will discover how research becomes a force that shapes thinking and sparks action. And with that,
Updilin nyo kami sa pagtukib sa mga sugilanon nga nagapadayon sa likod sa mga papel kag presentasyon. Kaupod ang isa sa mga faculty members of the Development Communication Program sa West Visayas State University's College of Communication. She is also the division chair of the Development Communication Program. We have Professor Joesyl Marie Dela Cruz-Aranas and our alumni, Miss Bea Grace Subega and Miss J.Ann Sioatong.
yes! Hello mga manang and ma'am! Welcome to the pod! Tamagid ka, matugnaw nga episode subok.
Yes.
Syempre, ang weather ta.
So medyo ulan-ulan. Medyo basa ang road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kamusta man ang biyahe niyo, ma'am? Mga manang, kadto dire.
Ako okay lang. Drove very early for this pod. So, excited to be here.
Yes. Kasi syempre, gin-prepare, ginamon, no? Ang amon yung setup. And of course, ang sa mga maupod man namon, preparado man kami na way. Yes. And, kamustahon man namon ang inyong mga life lately? Kamusta bala ka mo?
Ako, like, okay lang. Okay lang siya. Yeah, thriving.
Me, enjoy, still learning a lot pa rin
Yes.
kahit graduate na.
Oo. Grabe, no? So, nag-last year lang kami nag-graduate nung, no? Dukadasig lang daan.
Ganito ang santo lang kakili tayo patatos sa COC.
Oo,
So, mga
sa
diri na
Malalay
ta.
lang, sa college.
May podcast na.
Yes, kag very very happy kid kami nga kamo nga mon nga guest subong nga episode. And with that, can you tell us how you get started and what your journey has been like? Of course, si Ma'am Jo as the research advisor and nang Bay and nang J.Ann as the researchers.
Okay, so for me as an advisor, well, I've only been teaching in WVSU COC for the past 2 years. So in short, second batch pa lang day Bea that I took in as advisor. Super pressured, number one, because this group, 5 sila kabilog, made up of a COC SC chair and a USC chair during that time. Kag super, kumbaga busy folks. So it's always it always puts a pressure on the advisor to make sure that we are on time. Because when you advise, you don't really do the research yourself. You just have to make sure that, everything's all right, they're on track. Make sure nga makagraduate sila on time.
Yes.
So in short, I'm very pressured to keep up with the busy schedule.
As for me, actually, one of the first steps nga ginubra namon as a team was create an info board, no, and meeting gid, no, building off answer ni Ma'am Joesyl to work out among nga schedules because aside nga student leaders kami, we also have people who are freelancing, people with duties sa ilang nga barangays, and then another who is also a business owner. No, so amo na ang santo gid amon nga schedules danay.
Yes.
And of course, no, another thing man, no, which nang biliban ko, kay actually amon nga group, we didn't have um, any,
Conflict.
yeah, conflict with each
Yes.
other.
Mag-juggle ka mo.
Oo,
Yes.
kay amo nang notion, ma'am, no, when mag-abot na bala ang research. Nga like, oh my God, damo-damo na problems within the group.
Yes.
Do ka fascinating lang mabatian nga, ay, wala ka mo yung naka-encounter sa kamon sila sa
Wala
group.
kami
mo.
Considering nga
nag-FO.
busy pa ka mo.
Yes.
All of you are busy.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Ang understanding, tawag di ka na, ang pag-intindi bay, daw mas kimpili na lang gid namon nga intindihon ang struggles bala kag ang busy schedule sang isa kag isa.
So, ano, siya collaborative, gidya, no, sa tanan.
Nagganugid ka mo, nag-teamwork, gid.
Yes. Kag amo gina siguro ang isa sa mga factor nga successful man ang inyong thesis.
So hearing those, ma'am, as their thesis advisor, what do you remember about guiding students through ang case study nga method?
Well, actually, to be honest, when the project was first pitched to me, I there's like I always say to Bea, Bea, this is like a 4 theses in one thesis. That it's so complex and complicated. This is the initial draft, ha. So they want to do content analysis, they want to do interview, they want to do cultural mapping, they want to do and then produce after that. The thing with the COC, WVSU COC, at least with development communication is if you are more than 4 or 5 in a group, you need to produce something. So you need to conduct a research like thematic analysis, content analysis, or whatever, or survey, and then produce something after that.
Yes.
Kay, kumbaga lima ka mo eh, di ba?
Damo
Some
dapat.
people, damo dapat. So, in order for all of the members to participate, hindi lang ko yung gusto, so nagaluto, pansit canton.
Yan, di man, ma'am, no?
Di ba la? I mean, paano ko na mag-gradean? Kung wala niyo makugingaan, pansit canton.
Wala man lang nakabaton sa
It's so complex. Kag syempre they are brilliant students. So they all have this idea. So ako an experience and what I learned sa 2 years ko nga pag-advise is you don't limit the imagination. Pero we are limited by methods and we are limited by the research niche kumbaga, particularly in development communication. So ako na lang is okay, so you want to do this, why not strike two, ari lang anay, and let's see how it goes. If may time pa, especially with the busy schedule. Yes. Pero that's my experience is to never limit the imagination. Kaya to be honest, 'di ba? Kamo na ang new minds and sometimes we don't know things as teachers anymore kay bagets na kamo eh. You know the world kung diin ka mo gahulag more than we do. You know kumbaga the research space within your generation. So ang ako na lang the experience is how to guide it and somehow delimit.
Pero imagine na lang no kung diin bala ma'am dangatan ang imagination nga ina.
Yes.
Kalawak kita saan sang madamo gid bala sang maobra. And ako ya sang minabasahan ko daan mo. Do ka interesting kita daan sang ilang nga thesis title.
Yes.
Kag like na curious gid ako mga manang kung diin bala naghalin ina ano bala ang concept kag anong inspiration niyo sa paghuman sang inyong nga thesis.
Kay 'di ba, na ubra na siya before kay man, 'di ba nang gimbalita nga ang Iloilo City, City of Gastronomy. So nag-decide kami nga what if amo na lang na ma-focus kami sa food. Tapos may tatlo kami naka-food mo, tapos ang napilian namo na mikilinigis kay man nang pag-in-search mo na sa YouTube or sa Facebook or any platform sa nga SOCMED Balahaw, hindi mo na siya makita kay sa Dumangas lang gina siya. And very unique ang way of preparation niya Balahaw, ang process kung paano siya naubra.
And actually, going back to my previous answer no sa question nga, one of the reasons nga wala gid kami be conflict is actually pinagbato namon nga kinanglan ma-production thesis gid kami because hindi namon gusto nga bulagay kami. So that's one of the things no that I
Familiar
would
sa mga mo sila nga
yeah.
story.
Yeah, that's no, and that happens no with your thesis. Sometimes you really value your friendship nga kag matesta sang inyo nga production thesis gid no. But again, with a case study like that sa amo no, of course damo kami ambition gid man yung bron, pero it's a good thing gid ya nga Ma'am Joesyl was there gid ya to regulate us. And one of the things man no about Miki Linigis is that ang core ya gid abi is the community and the family. So that's why nga amon nga produced a short video series, it didn't focus on the food itself, but actually the story behind it. And that's why it's a short video series because we produced 3 episodes. So the first focused on its history, and then the second it's social impacts. So that's your family, socioeconomic, even spiritual, value. And then finally, it's aesthetic, no, and its flavor profile. So we really wanted to package gid this ano tawagan ito, heritage property, no? Oo. Oo, the heritage property because it's been in the community for 50 years, yet there's little that people know about it.
Kay
Like,
ka
biskan,
very rare.
oo, kita man no,
Bago
pagkakita
ta lang
ko to.
nabatian.
Oo, kag like, ami ra, gili
Oo.
sang amo sila sa Dumangas.
Tapos,
I'll add, it's an antithesis of your culinary award. Ang Iloilo as City of Gastronomy focus on batchoy.
Oo, ma.
And the thing is, in Dumangas, they don't really look at batchoy as the number one sabaw or the number one noodle. It's the Miki Linigis. So it's the antithesis of saying, si Iloilo province is batchoy. So that's kumbaga claim nila, but it turns out it's not in Dumangas.
yes.
Kag
Kay
like,
careers ng amo sini nga classes ng study, no? Kay, personally, bago ko lang gid niya nabatian, pagkakita naman we were like, ano ay hanang unod sini?
anong sabor?
Anong
Amo ginaya,
sabor?
anong sabor?
Wala ka maging gutom nang sang
Oo, sabang kayo mo kamo sa
I think nakapilasin. Nakapilasin.
2 shoots kami bay. Naka-2 kami nga liwat sang shoot tapos naka-3 ko kakaon.
Same.
Kaya ang
Tatlo ka
first,
meals.
oo, ang
Oo.
first nagkato kami kan Demerta, nagkaon lang kami. Ang second, nagtanaw kami sang shoot, tas nagkaon kami. Nagtanaw kami, nag-shoot kami.
Mm.
Tapos nagkaon kami. And ang third nga retake na balahaw, nagkaon kami liwat. So, na-met siya.
ano sabor yan nang,
Oo.
diba?
Ano sa Boria?
Plain man. Imagine na ang miswa nga isda na balahaw, may sardinas.
Oo.
Nga, pero ang iya unod, dolomi.
So medyo malapot-lapot siya.
Siya malapot siya kay tungod na ata sa ingredients sa man
Oo.
mismo. Na-met siya dayon. Ano siya nang makatawid gutom. Kay barato siya and at the same time mabugat sa tiyan balahaw.
Bali pang masa, gid siya
Oo,
yan.
pangmasa,
Oo.
gid.
So hearing those, ma'am, what are the common struggles siguro nga mahambal mo nga gin-face nila or sa mga students mo nga gina-guide mo right now sa case study method?
Well, it's always the schedule. Okay,
Yes.
when you do thesis, you're not only doing thesis. For DevCom, there's 3 levels, 3 courses that focuses on that. So my communication research, that's DC 213, and that's where you propose your concept. Tapos may thesis 1, which is thesis writing, and then thesis 2 nga makonduct na. So, pero as much as pwede mo siya ma-break down into 3, it's very difficult to find the schedule, especially for I'm sure bilog nga COC and bilog nga West, whoever is doing thesis can experience nga scheduling people, pero most especially in DevCom, scheduling communities. Kaya ang amon goal is when you go into the community, as much as possible, hindi mo pag-i-disrupt ang ila daily life. Kay, for example, ma-shoot sila Miki Linigis, for example. That's one take. Diin makadto ang pagkaon. So, kinanglan nyo baklon. Right?
oo.
Kaya hindi man pwede nga,
Ito sila
i-feature ta ka mo patang naman sa thesis. Wala siya socio-economic value para sa community. So, as much as possible is not to disrupt the community. So, it's always, the struggle is always scheduling, finding the budget to do.
Yes, budget. Kita nga to nga, ano ta.
Oo,
Numero
true.
1 nga, need. Siyempre, ma'am, kag mga manang, madamo kita yan sa mga challenges. Nga na, again, nabinagit ka mo ha sa pag-conduct sa inyong nga thesis. Mera, bala sang turning point sa inyong nga thesis journey. Kag naka-apekto bala siya na, sa results sa inyong nga thesis.
I think about what Jayan said, no, that we had to do retakes and reshoots. It's really because nag-content analysis gid kami daan before, no, and what we realized is that there's a tendency that stories, no, are not what they seem to be nga kung ano nang ara sa other media because we did pre-documentation and pre-analysis, no, of the dish itself. So nagkuha kami documents nga nag-exist na and the story is there. Pero sa nagkadto kami to conduct interviews, no, with the culture bearers, cultural bearers, gali, no, is the right term, nagkuan sila nga there's confusion or there's rather debate kung sino gid ba lang nga family ang ginhalinan nan. So, there goes no ang pag-apply ta sang cultural mapping nga you have to really get into gid the story sino nga pamilya nagumpisa, check ang time, no, the decades, sino nga person ang gina-identify sang other community members nan. And we were fortunate enough man nga we chose Miki Linigis and one of our co-researchers taga didto man na
Kag-SK siya bisa
Oo,
Yeah.
kanina na-curious mo ko kay may taga Dumangas, baka mga group nang.
yes
Ano,
si
apples na lang ang access nyo bala ma'am sa.
yes. And we were also more fortunate pagid kay amo na she's with
SK.
Wala mo siya kilala.
Oo. Kag ano siya ng very social sabay sa barangay nila. Known siya and close niya gid mismo ang nagaubra
Yeah.
sa Mikilinigis.
ang gindub nga Miki
Miki
Linigis
Linigis
Queen.
Queen.
Wow! Doon na-curious mo na ako kung sino ang queen ngayon na.
Pero yeah, so amo ginaamon nga naagyan no. For me that's the turning point. Get is to reevaluate kay sometimes ang script is there to guide but the story itself is just waiting for you kung ara na kamo sa lugar.
What she said.
So,
Seconded.
hearing those, ma'am, ang ano imo, ma'am, being a personal fulfillment mo, pag-guide mo sa ila.
Well, one of the things that I'm so proud about this research and also si Dean Rona, ang aton din sa COC, is it's not really the first time. Well, I'm not sure, we haven't done the thesis mapping yet, pero based on her experience and my experience, first time namon mag multi-method na may pre-production and production content. Explain ko, Anay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So before, what they did is actually to review and do content analysis of all existing reels. Kaya we're focusing on reels. Kaya we know how scrolls in your phones. Reels na, you don't do long forms anymore. Pero I think long forms are coming back. I'm so thankful. Pero during that time, it was really reels, your TikTok and your Facebook reels, ganon. IG reels, YouTube shorts, yon. So it was the trend during that time, until now. So it's doing content analysis for all existing reels that features culinary dishes. So you have to identify how they light it, how they feature the dish, how they tell the story of the dish, in order for it to be featured in a way na fitting for a culinary dish. And what I didn't expect, they want to do the cultural mapping pagidya. And they realized that there's no enough RRL for the Miki Linigis. Kaya again, hindi siya popular. So this is where I kind of sort of resisted. Nga ba ko, this is going to take another month. Kaya ang pre-research, the content analysis pa lang it's like a month also with the validation of the instrument. So imagine, that's a whole thesis. Pwede na siya isa ka thesis. Ang first part. Cultural mapping can be another thesis, pero not for DevCom, pero for HRM and tourism siguro. Ang DevCom element lang nila is to make sure it's grounded on the community. And then, combining all that to make scripts and then produce. Gusto pagitani nila to upload it and magpa-survey pagid sa audience analysis. So, naghambal ko, stop na. Okay na. I'll take this, we'll do it sa sunod na, bisan graduate na kam or something. So it's that complicated. I think it's worth sharing. Publishable, the idea is publishable. The integrity of the research is nice. So I think it feels nice man siguro to do, what we're trying to change in the culture recently is, in thesis is hindi nga thesis lang.
So, how has going through the thesis process, specifically kay ang inyong method ng is case study, nag-shape sa inyong perspective as development communication graduates, no?
So for me, na-realize ko nga ang development nag-start siya by kung may nagapamati, may naga-listen bala sa stories niyo how, and na-realize ko man nga ang isa bala ka food, isa ka culture, damo-damo na sa perspective.
Yeah.
Damo-damo bala storya, hawa pa man na gani nga ang pag-cultural map namon, damo-damo naga-claim na ay amo ni siya kami ni nag-start, family, lola ko ni nag-ubra. Tas ang piyak nag-amo man na, nga naga-claim bala. So for me, ang development nag-start lang gid kay may namati na. So,
Biskin isa lang bala ka person ang mamati kag magpati bala
Oo.
simo dako na siya nga ano daan.
wakal balahaw like amo na inang na-discover siya namon kay namati man kami sa storya sang damo nga tawo.
Yeah.
For me, it really shaped good no ang perspective nga, especially with what I'm doing now after graduation, no, which is more or less the same good actually with my thesis no nga naobra namon, is that stories are best told not by script no or by the director but sometimes it's by the characters nga gina-feature ta. So that's why nga ang amon nga produced videos ang nagahambal sang story is the people themselves.
Very
Ang
raw.
yes, so it was very raw. And actually, ang produce namon is not, we were not chasing for aesthetics, but rather kung ano ang, yeah,
Yung impact sa community
impact.
ba?
yes. And I think that's what development communication really is about, no? Aside from transforming ang aton nga media, no, to best suit ang needs ng tao, but it's also to push forward, no, ang authentic stories nga may ara ang mga pumuluyo para mas makbalan pagid sang iban.
Ang hambal nga daan sa to, ang research daw is just a requirement. Pero diri gyud pakita ninyo nga ang research may makuha kita nga lesson and then ang impact nga mahahatag sa iya sa aton kag sa community man. So for all of you, ang question is now, what lessons from the journey, whether academic or personal, still stay with you today?
Um, the lessons that still stay with me today, no, it's really about knowing, no, what you're going to get yourself into. And one of the things, abing aging cement kid namon, is that aside from being strategic, no, yeah, you have everything prepared. Kaya syempre kami mo damo kami ging analyze, nag pre-research gid kami before, but also at the same time, you have to be very proactive. No, so even with my work today, no, na which I also still go to the communities, a script is just a script. But once mag-abot ka gidya, the stories gidya, grabe himay-himayon mo gid na siya. And sometimes the stories might take a turn, and you have to be prepared for that.
O schedule, script kag ang mga tawo nga involved mismo sa community kay may tendency be nga ang gin-interview mo hindi siya gali qualified as nga
Yes.
interviewon mo. So dapat ready ka for change and dapat kabalo ka mag-insindi. Kay damo-damo bisang insindihon mo aside insindihon mo ang ang cultural barriers.
Yes.
Insindihon mo na sila.
Dapat sensitive ka man nga
Oo, dapat
magstorya sa
sensitive
ila.
ka.
Dili masulod ang research ethics.
Dapat insindihon mo sila, insindihon mo imo nga kagulingon kag imo groupmates.
Di ka gid sa core mo kung ano bala ang imo bala nga goal.
Yes.
I always encourage the student to find their research niche. Kay they care so much, si Bea kag si Jian and the rest of the group care so much about their topic na hindi nila kaya pabayan. Kay for me, if ang topic for your research is hindi mo hilig, hindi mo niche, hindi mo it sounds cliche, pero yes, kung hindi mo siya passion, hindi ka passionate about the topic or certain issues. For example, you're not passionate about creating video podcast. It will just be as a requirement.
Yes, so
Okay, thesis writings should be, for me, should be life-changing.
ang again sinido nagbalik man kita sa pilot episode namon which is ang gin-introduce man ni Ma'am Sheila bala ma'am ang kung ano gid man ang research kag may notion gid man na daan di ba nga requirement ni siya lain gid man like mag-an gid man sa heart kag sa ano mo kung ang imo nga topic is interested ka gid man. And for mga manang, how do you think these theses experiences prepare students for the real world in the development communication field?
I think no, with us Abi, we were very lucky no nga although very ano siya bala, very testing gid no ang amon nga research concept, but we were able gid no to do with it no napadayon gid siya namon. And to me Abi, I feel like I'm one of the people who is fortunate enough nga my thesis prepared me for what I'm doing right now. Yeah, so to me, it's all about being prepared, no, and valuing good facts, and of course, the stories of communities, no, and in a development communication naman nga standpoint, how my thesis prepared me for the real world is that lain ang expectations ng tao outside of your production scape. Because as people, no, mass communication practitioners, you know kung anong do's and don'ts sa production. But if you're there to document gidya nga raw nga hindi mo ya paghilabtan ang usual routine, no, like for example sa amon paano i-prepare ang dish nang kinanglan mo gidya nga mag-adjust
Wait.
na
And subong, oh my God, manaboy ko sa to na. Na-curious gid ako kag na feed man ang ako nga curiosity about the thesis. And thank you so much man mga ma'am kag manang sa tanan nga gin-share nyo nga mga experiences. Pero before kita mag-end, mayroon lang kita sang cute nga pag-games. And this is Guess the Imposter Research Edition. So, bale, mayroon lang kita sang mayroon kita sang tatlo ka categories kung sa diin ang categories nga ina may mga terms. And then ang first naton nga round is like mabunot-bunot lang kita sa aton nga fish bowl. Sa aton nga first category, mabunot kita sang clear or like sa plain nga papel. And then, since lima kita ang mahampang, no, ang gwa sila apat sa aton ang makabaton sang amo sina nga category, and then ang isa nga nada is the impostor.
I'm hyper
Dili naton
competitive.
matest kung Dili naton
I'm
matest
not
kung
sure I'm ready.
observant ginan ba lang mga taga COC?
Yes, oo.
Or may mga mata-mata ginan ba
Ako
lang
yung gusto
sila?
ko kita makapati sa mga another vocab.
Mga ato ni sa aton nga dictionary.
Oo.
So ready na ba lang tanan?
Ready.
O gani ready na tagani.
Ready na.
Away pa sila.
Okay. Sino ba lang ang impostor? Magaling. Sige, open. Tani secret. Labubo. Okay. Ready na bala? Ready
Hindi na
na?
mampisa.
Sa aton siguro mag-isa ka. Okay.
Okay, ako ma-start.
Ikaw, start.
Research.
Bookbind.
Method.
interviews.
Surveys.
Ay, kamunday. Sige, isa pa, isa pa. So, bali, mahalin naman.
Balik
Kailang Jayan.
Napapadlay siya.
Si Jean ang imposter.
Culture.
Okay. Maote.
Narratives.
Office.
I know na.
Okay, last ko. Collaboration.
Gusto ko lang. Okay, since tapos na ang walk around, in 3, 2, 1, itudloon ta kung sino ang imposter. Okay, ready?
Yes.
In 3, 2, 1, who's the imposter? Ako? Okay, sino ginawa ng imposter?
Mia.
Wow,
Should
sagad
have-
siya mag-come up sa mga terms.
Pero akong question, why office?
Ma'am, kaya nataan, ma'am. Di ba, ma'am, case? So, ang kaso, di ba, ginahuman sa office?
Okay.
Nuisance. Ikaw ang nuisance.
Okay, for our next round, mabunot kita sang
Ibalik
blue.
lang, te.
Ay, hindi na lang.
Blue na.
Blue.
Okay.
Dito nga go. Community.
Development.
Los Baños.
Focus
Get,
group
get.
discussions.
Course sa COC.
Ay!
Mahirap.
Sinave niya na agad yung
Oo. Sigurado, yung hindi spot.
Correct.
Ako naman, liwat. Teamwork.
Akon, production.
Potential.
Nora C. Cabral.
Love it. We love you, Ma'am Nora.
Wait. Ngayon, sir, ano man?
Hindi siya pagkilit.
Talk.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1, who's the impostor?
Ay, ako galing. Uy, hindi ako.
Ako ang impostor! Yes, ba? Okay, for our last
Last
category, the green one. Green one. Hindi secret.
Sure.
Oh, correct.
Okay, ready na ta?
Ito start.
I think ikaw ma-start.
Ako ma-start. Sige. New.
Discovery.
Season.
Oh.
Very niche.
Ongoing.
Collaborative.
Okay. Next.
And then with that, in 3, 2, 1, who's the impostor?
Si Bea.
Pero sa gets na okay, ha? Very good. Ito nga yung mga terms nga na.
In fairness.
Grabe, madamo kita sang na-experience subong aga kag nabatian coming from you, ma'am, and sa mga manang kag actually ang takeaway kag damdamo ko vocabs nga nabaton subong aga.
Ano mo goal, di ba?
Yes, ma'am. And we've reached the end of another meaningful conversation. Thank you. Thank you to our guests for sharing their insight, experiences, kag tani may masunod pa gid.
And thank you for sharing this space with us. Kag tani nag-enjoy ka mo taking a stroll down memory lane kung nag-over ka mo sa inyong thesis.
Yes.
Kag tani nag-enjoy man ka mo sang good vibes naton dito today.
Oo. Biskan malamig pero medyo nag-init man ang aton nga sa discussion naton.
Thank you so much for sharing this space with us, Ma'am Jo, ng Bay, and ng Jay. At tani nag-enjoy ka mo taking down a stroll on our memory lane. Sang go-over ka mo sa inyong thesis. And tani nag-enjoy ka mo sa aton nga good vibes dito days. Especially sa aton nga game, no?
Yeah.
Oo.
Thank you so much no, for having us.
Yeah, Jay, go. Game. I-promote.
Basta may i-promote ka mo lang.
I seconded.
Second then.
Well, ako, I would like to thank you sa Studiositas and, the students of broadcasting division. This is such a fun way to communicate research to your peers and to, create a culture. Hindi kita makulbaan mag-research. Fun bala. I mean, habag ko, everything is an experience. Mabudlay subong kadlawan ta na lang sa ulihi kag istoryahan ta sa podcast. Ang struggles ng
Kita na
thesis.
tamam sa podcast.
Correct.
Kung gusto niyo man mag-guest, just contact us.
Eh, di kay syempre, gina-wish man namon nga kung mas madamo, pagid nga platform, bala ma'am ang mabutangan sa amo sini nga mga season namon.
It's really rare to talk about something so technical in a way that's so bubbly. And I think that could, bridge the gap between the kulba and the enjoyment of doing thesis. Right?
And I really think no, that the show itself puts your thesis no, as it's more than just a book or a requirement. No?
Wow.
Thank you na. Episode 2 may be over, but we're just getting started. We look forward to continuing this journey of celebrating academic excellence, career growth, and aiming to spark new ideas and conversations.
To our Tiki Besties, thank you for being with us in our second episode. And stay tuned because as we go along, we'll keep exploring more stories, sharing more insights, and of course, amplifying more voices from the College of Communication.
Don't forget to catch us on West TV via Cable Star on Channel 28 and on our Facebook page and YouTube channel with Studiositas Honor Society.
Every research leads to unseen paths, and here we find where they begin.
Until next time, this is Studiositas on Air, Pag-to-Give Season!
Thank you.